Welcome to the 2012 SCAC Men's Soccer Media Days. Today we're joined by University of Dallas head men's soccer coach David Hoffmann. David, thanks for taking time out of your schedule to talk to us today.
Certainly.
David, take us through your mindset as you begin your 10th season as the head men's soccer coach at Dallas.
10th season is a bit of time. I mean, certainly been through a few recruiting cycles, and culture's changed a little bit since I first got here. I think for us, the thing most prominent in our mind is moving into SCAC, especially with the kind of reformation of the conference and getting our minds around that. You know, we've gone from a situation where we were chasing all over the nation to try to build out a schedule. I had classes that graduated having played in 17 different states, sort of thing. And now we have, I think, a much cleaner rhythm to the season, a lot of Friday, Sunday, a lot of Saturday, Sunday matches. So I think it allows us to build into a little bit more of habit in how we train, and maybe offers a little bit more teaching instead of just kind of perpetually coming into next game in a very erratic schedule and changing things around, because we'd have to catch games on Mondays and Wednesdays and whenever folks could squeeze us in. So I'm very much looking forward to some of that structure and some of that ability to kind of plan and come to know opponents and, you know, build up some rivalries, hopefully healthy ones.
David, obviously with a couple games under your belt already by now, just talk a little bit about how the preseason went. How did those preparations go, and how has the first few games gone for the club so far?
Well, our preseason actually experimented a little bit with, frankly, less conditioning, with the idea that we would try to achieve greater health. And from that perspective, I think the team was successful. I'm a little bit a student of the biology of the game, and so, you know, we deal with cycling through which muscle fibers we're working with the guys, changing their types of workouts. But we kind of broke into only 25% of our sessions had anything to do with fitness. And so I honestly think that leaves us a little less fit coming into the season, but it leaves us much healthier. We spent a lot less time with guys in the training room, and so that's something that on the surface I'm happy about, and we'll see how that actually, you know, bears out. You know, at the moment it's good to have guys healthy, but if we're not able to finish games, you know, it might be something that comes back to bite us. In terms of the first two matches of the season, I think our defense played with a lot of structure. We're a little older there. We returned a number of players there. Goalkeeper, 3 of our 4 starting backs this past weekend are returning starters. So I think we have a little more structure there, a little more continuity, and that's made us a little bit better defensively. I think offensively we're still finding our way a little bit. It was a split. You know, we won 1, lost 1. Both games were very tight. One going to overtime, the other one being a 1-goal affair. And you know, so we'll see. We'll see. I don't think we've revealed too much yet, having just got 180 minutes under our belt. But it's opening up a few things. Our suspicions about a quality defense, I think, are there. We're still going to find our way a little bit in the attack as we're much younger.
This is the 2012 SCAC Men's Soccer Media Days. Today we're joined by David Hoffmann, University of Dallas head coach. David, talk to us a little bit about Mikhail Castillo and his training with the under-21 Puerto Rican national team. Talk a little bit about what that was like, knowing that you've been able to coach him and coach a player who's been able to compete and train with the national team.
Well, Mikhail's done very well for us since he's arrived at the University of Dallas. You know, he started out as a reserve last year and had, I think, clearly the best offseason of any player we've had, at least in last year's squad. He really helped himself physically. He really helped himself in terms of agility and strength. And I think it came as quite a surprise to him, certainly was to me, to receive a message from him that, you know, hey, Coach, I'm in Puerto Rico, and guess what I'm doing, sort of thing. So I'm not sure he's even certain how they sorted out that he belonged in their system, but it's certainly exciting for him. It's certainly something that exposes him to a very high quality of player. The majority of the members of that squad are playing professionally in the NASL, a few in the MLS, things of that nature. So it really puts him in a great training environment. And you know, we're hopeful that, you know, what they bring to his table will then have a trickle-down effect to us in terms of intensity, in terms of how he prepares himself, and hopefully going forward, as he's got 2 more years with us, hopefully it'll make him very fit coming out of summer as he goes through Olympic qualifiers for them and World Cup qualifiers for them.
David, I know you talked a little bit about it in the open here, but compare last year being your first year in the SCAC to now entering your second year under your belt, knowing what the conference is like, the competition, the schedule of quirks, that sort of thing. Talk a little bit about how much you're able to understand what being in a conference is all about at this second year in the SCAC.
Well, I think we've certainly learned some stuff. I had somebody tell me my first year as a coach that your first year you just keep your head above water, and your second year you know what to do, and your third year you actually do it. So we're obviously in the second year. I think we've got some ideas of what to do. Whether or not we'll actually be able to do it, I'm not certain. But hopefully so. Like I said, I think the rhythm of training is something that we're getting our mind around, and it'll be a little bit more structured in terms of a season-long planning and a teaching situation. In the past, we've had so much riding on every game, in terms of only being able to qualify as a Pool C. So now there's sort of a wild card. If you start out 4, as long as you're building forward and you get a hot streak at the end in the conference, it gives you a chance. So I think for younger teams, it's going to give them a chance to develop and grow and mature a little bit, and hopefully be playing their best soccer at the end of the year. With that in mind, again, I think we've got ideas. I think we'll gradually start to learn more tendencies about the opposition, what the coaches like to bring to the table. Obviously, they'll start to learn more about myself and what University of Dallas brings to the table. So I don't know that there's a massive advantage to being the second year, but certainly it gives you at least it's eliminated the element of surprise. We know where the locker rooms are now, and we know where to park the bus and things like that, which were actually those, minor sources of stress. Your warm-up's off like 10 minutes because you didn't know where to put the bus and you didn't know how to, find the fields on campus. And so hopefully that'll make things a little bit smoother for us going forward. I know the boys are certainly excited about it. The structure of a conference and just the quality of institutions that are in the conference is something else that I know they're happy to be dealing with, relative to non-conference games and things of that nature.
Finally, David, what's going to be maybe 2 or 3 keys for the Crusaders as they look to improve upon a 6-9-1 overall season and a 3-6 mark in the SCAC from last season?
Well, I think to do better, I think we'll have to score more, and I think that's obvious to anyone that you need to score more goals than your opposition to be successful in soccer. I mentioned earlier, I think defensively we're pretty solid. I don't expect anybody to just run us off the pitch, but at the same time, we're going to have to find our way offensively. I think some of that leadership that's in the back, if that can bleed forward, if that can give guys confidence to just be a little more aggressive, be a little more daring in their attack, and we can make a few goals, then I think we will be successful. And if we don't find our way, then I think we'll do about the same.
University of Dallas head men's soccer coach David Hoffmann. David, again, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule, and best of luck throughout the rest of the 2012 season.
Thank you.